Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the Q&A. Good to see those who have stuck around still here. It's good questions coming up. Back to Habishme again, starting off part 2 as you did part 1. Good on you. You asked, what is your favourite feud and why? This took me so long to think. And there are two scales of how a great wrestling feud can go. One, the wrestling side. There's no feud better than Angle Benoit. That feud had everything. There was no story to it. Well, apart from when the gold medals were part of the bargain. When of course that two out of three falls match against again the Judgment Day 2001. We had the basically also don't forget also the Team Angle part before the Royal Rumble match 2003. But apart from that, their feud was a basic. I'm better than you. You want to know how? I'm going to prove it to you in the ring all the time, and that was a bona fide classic feud for me. For a wrestling fan, as a wrestling fan, a person who doesn't care about the soap opera, it is the perfect feud for you. If you don't like it, well, no means. But to me, that was a great feud. For the entertainment factor, you cannot go any further than Austin McMahon because that feud had so much intensity to it based on just on the antagonism between both McMahon and Austin. It created many great matches having such a stigma around them, such a brilliant aura around them that you knew it was going to happen. Every time Austin wrestled, you had this overbearing feeling of McMahon around him. That you just felt intensified by it. That's why Austin's matches are a lot of them are regarded as brilliant matches because that feud was the foreshadow for everything that happened with Austin. All from 98, from 97, right through to 2003 even. He had this Austin aura around him that came from McMahon feud. And it was just so funny, so intensely great. I loved it. However, despite loving both of those feuds, Habishme, there is one feud which combines both to make the greatest feud, I believe, in professional wrestling history. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. Now think about it this way. You got the intensity between the two, the hatred after all that happened after the back injury, Triple H assuming the spot, and then Shawn Michaels clawing his way back, the jealousy, the hatred of Triple H, gorging this feud. It lasted 2 fucking years, and it was just so brilliant. The mic work was fantastic. Interference in other matches. It even made the most insignificant Raw match, either one of them in a match against someone else, worth watching because you're thinking, okay, is Triple H going to get involved here? Even when that feud itself wasn't the spotlight, you knew point blank this is going to be still part of it because even when the Nash Triple H thing was going on, the Triple H, it was still slightly in the background because of course the Jericho storyline interwove with it a bit. And it still was the number one thing on WWE programming, even with Angle Lesnar in the background. And to me, it was just the best because it not only was the entertainment value and the intensity of it all for it, the matches in it were sublime. I mean, you got the Street Fight at SummerSlam 2002, Survivor Series got the Elimination Chamber, the Three Stages of Hell from Armageddon 2002, I could go even also saying that the last man standing match from the Rumble, the Hell in a Cell, they're violent matches. Plus, I would also have to go over, including the combination and mixture of Evolution, the Elimination Chamber from 2003, the Elimination Chamber from 2005, when, of course, Shawn Michaels refereed it. The rivalry may have gone by then, but it was still quite massive. And it put on the most violent feud in WWE, in one of WWE's most violent feuds. It created so much greatness about it from both ends of the wrestling and entertainment scale that I just have to give it as my favourite feud of all time because it just felt so perfect. Shawn Michaels Jericho probably comes up a close second when you put those two factors together. But Triple H, Shawn Michaels, I grew up with that, starting watching wrestling nearly 10 years ago. That was what effectively stayed me. I went, yeah, this is good stuff. And it kept me. That's my favourite feud of all time just because of its greatness. It's fantastic. MSDC Punk, your first question here. If there is one current superstar you would have liked to have watched during the Attitude Era, which I will have to point out, I was not actually watching in, so yeah, that's quite bad. Who would it be and why? There's only one person who could fit into the Attitude Era, CM Punk. It's the only person who could, because the guy, of course I am a fanboy for CM Punk, I fucking love the guy, as you know I would answer this kind of question with him, but he's got the mic work to go toe to toe with Rock, Austin, even Undertaker back then, Foley, Triple H. He has the mic work to go against all of them, and he has the technical wrestling ability to beat all of them. So in that case, I'd put him in there because he won. He'd basically look out of place. Straight edge guy in a world full of steroids and various other things, including Austin drinking beer, and all the sex and crazy and violence. And you see CM Punk, this clean-spirited individual. It's a catalyst to the Attitude Era typography, basically the imagery of the Attitude Era. It goes slightly against it, but at the same time, he'd fit like a glove. So I'd go for CM Punk, hands down. And your second question, MSDC Punk, how important to you is it a superstar's finishing move ends the match? And when is it acceptable for a finisher to be met with a kick out? Now this is quite important for me because a finishing move, in my opinion, can only be classified as a finishing move if it looks like it is significant enough to cause injury or harm to a wrestler, where it could actually cause a 3 count or a submission. Now, I can tell the F5, the Tombstone, even Kane's original chokeslam from Hell, the Showstopper by Big Show, even Tyler Rex's Slight Burning Hammer variation, they are bona fide finishers. Because you would look like, oh god, it's over. It's over. Sleeper hold, maybe. Ziggler and Piper, I'm not going to be too sure on that one. Cripple crossface would rip your fucking nose off. That's done. The Cobra, people say, is one of the worst finishers in WWE's history. It is, because of the theatrics. But imagine having some people's fingers going right into your Adam's apple. Trying to grasp your breath while choking on the inside, and then having someone press you down so you can't actually, get to your throat to help yourself. That is worthy of a 3 count. That's worthy of a finish. And if a finisher like Riley's swinging DDT, which actually would look good if he would, I don't know. It just to me isn't a convincing finisher. Because Armbreaker isn't too bad, but Del Rio's physical intensity when putting it on actually could make it that. I mean, it all depends. If it looks painful enough, make it a finisher move, and then give it some. Give it a 3 count time for that. Is it acceptable for a finisher to be met with a kick out? If you've got a wrestler who is known by the fans and the guys in the back for having incredible endurance, durability, and just the great knowledge of that he can take punishment. That's why Foley kicking out of a finisher was worthy, because he obviously could. Now, Cena if he kicks out of a guy's finisher, then you can go, okay, just Super Cena. But actually, in that sense, it would make sense for him to kick out, wouldn't it? See, if a guy can kick out of it and make sense of it for the endurance, for the durability's sake, he was a big guy wrestler, then yeah, I can see it being kicked out. But say, if Rey Mysterio gets hit with a tombstone or a big choke slam by Undertaker, if he kicks out of that, it's not as believable. So it depends on the person being hit by the finisher and what kind of finisher it is that matters when it ends the match and if it can be kicked out of. Hope that answers your question, man. And then finally, the last question, again, from F My Life for Lulz. Out of all the great Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle matches in WWE history, what is your favourite and why? For me, it has to be their match at the Royal Rumble 2003. You know what, mate? I could not agree with you more. That is an absolute masterclass in how wrestling should be done. And in all fairness, they've had so many great matches. WrestleMania 17, the Ultimate Submission match from Backlash, 2 out of 3 full match for the medals. Even the 2003 Rumble match, the one from Unforgiven 02, even the tag matches they were in together, despite them being tag partners, where we're still against each other in that way. And there's so many great matches, so many, that it is hard to pick one. But when you look at them at face value, the Royal Rumble one is just the best. so much at stake, so much emotion on it that Benoit really wanted to prove Angle and his team wrong. And it was just, the build may not have been the best in the world, but to me, it was the best match they've done, and it will always remain that way. So I can officially, actually, the only one I believe that comes a close second has to be their cage match on Monday Night Raw during the Invasion storyline. That the intention of hitting all those German suplexes, the moonsault off the top, the headbutt off the top, it's perfect. That was the only thing is, if that was because also you had Austin involved in the commentary, which is more awesome. That would be a close second. But the Rumble match, without hands down, one of the best matches of all time, and definitely the best match of their feud, their rivalry with each other, definitely. And guys, once again, I'm happy to say this has been a very successful Q&A. I'm happy with the questions I was given, good answers, and I think, you know what, you want to give me some questions next time. I'm putting up a moderator on the 2nd of September, so please remember that. I'll put up on the 2nd of September. You all can start asking questions all over again, and I hope I have some more people coming this time, because I'm relying on you guys, the wrestling collectorate out there, to give me some great questions, because I keep enjoying doing these Q&As. I hope you can contribute. So you know what? If you've come across this Q&A video or even part 1, you want to hear more from me, you haven't pressed that button up there already. Do that as soon as you can, because you get more videos from me, makes everybody happy. You want to also comment on your opinions? What would you answer to those questions given by the people who submitted them? What would you give as answers? Put your comments down there in the comment section. And guys, I will see you on Tuesday for my Raw reaction, and I hope you lot have a very good start to the week. Because also, guys in the UK, it's bank holiday! So, I'm going to try and sit down and watch SummerSlam. I still haven't watched it yet. And I hope you all have a good time, because it's hopefully going to be a possibly sunny bank holiday. I've been Queen Crazy, you have been people watching, we are the new generation, and I will see you on Tuesday. Cheers!